Hello everyone. On today's trip through the woods, we will be building a wall-mounted vinyl roll organizer. Sorry for being absent of late, but I promise I've been working on some new content for you. Let's get started. For today's build, you will need 3 2-inch PVC pipes by 10 foot long, one 1 by 10 by 6 foot long, some spray paint, and some wood stain. Today we will have special appearances by the executive producer. Keep your eyes out for him during the video. Now down to business. First, we're going to mark the PVC at every 6 inches. This will give us 60 pieces. I laid the pipe out on my work table, but you could just as easily do this on some sawhorses. Quick tip that I used for many years. If you have an old door, you can lay it on top of the sawhorses for a fast, flat work table. Here I'm using the speed square with the tape measure to mark out the 6 inches. This gives me a straight line for cutting the pipe. I use a reciprocating saw to cut the pipe, but you could also use a hacksaw. There he is again, checking on my work. I'm using a 2-clamp method to hold the pipe when cutting. You can pick these clamps up fairly cheap. Besides, one can never have enough clamps. Using this method is fairly easy to make repeated cuts. Take one clamp off, loosen the other, slide the pipe, tighten the clamps, cut. I'd like to take this moment to thank all of my subscribers. I love hearing from all of you. Thank you for the kind words about the videos. If you'd like to see a particular build, drop me a comment. If you'd like to see some behind the scenes or see what I'm up to, find me on Instagram. The link is in my About page. Okay, let's speed this up. How fast can we cut them? We only got 60 of them to cut. I better hurry up before the executive producer shows up again. In this shot, you can see me lining up with the mark and trying to keep the saw as straight as possible. When cutting PVC, you always end up with some Klingons. They're easy to smooth out. Using a utility knife, you scrape the inside and the outside. Use caution when doing this. Slow and steady and even pressure. As an extra step, you could sand the inside and outside and the edges with sandpaper, but I think this is good enough for who it's for. Well, I didn't film the spray painting part, but to paint these, I ran a string through the center, tied a paint stick to the bottom, and hung them up and painted them. Here you see I've cut the 2x10 into two 32.5 inch long boards. I stacked them on top of each other and clamped them together. Also, I marked out a grid line. I marked a 1/2 inch around all the edges and then measured and marked 2 inches from those lines. In the rows in between, I measured and marked a 1/2 inch gap. I'm drilling the holes with a 2-inch hole saw on my drill press, but you could do this with a hand drill. I drill all the way through the top board and part way into the bottom one. This prevents tear out on both boards and marks the bottom board for later in the video. Quick tip, I'm using a nail to push on the top of the circles to get them out of the hole saw. There's slots in the top of the hole saw, and by pushing on both sides, the circle comes out. Okay, so let's get the rest of these holes drilled. Okay, time to take the clamps off. The next part I left in because I thought it sounded cool. When done, I'll have 60 circles. Whatever shall I do with them? Well, that's a video for another day. Now you can see that the bottom board has been marked and cut from drilling the top board. Next, I'll flip the board and finish drilling from the other side. See? No tear out. Next up, everybody's favorite part, sanding. So somehow the boards got stained between sanding and this clip. Magic. Anyways, the PVC pipe is 2 inches and the hole saw is 2 inches, but there is a slight difference in them. This leaves a gap. That's okay because we need to attach the pipes to the boards. Glue gun to the rescue. Here it is on the wall. I did forget to mention that I drilled the mounting holes in the boards before I glued the pipes in. To mount it to the wall, I took the boards without the pipes, drilled through the mounting holes into the wall. Where I didn't have studs, I used wall inserts. After the pipes were glued in, I screwed the roll organizer to the wall. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment. As always, thank you for joining me on this trip to see what the bear is doing in the woods.